Oh man. Is it Friday already? Jesus Christ. Time is crazy. Well, guys, hello. It's your boy Vladis. This is Friday, coming at you at 10/10/25. This is Vladis Gaming. And today I wanted to chat with you guys about a particular topic that a lot of, my guild, a lot of content creators of the Ashes space were kind of talking about earlier. Are we welcoming to new players, like as a community? And funny enough, like in my guild, we've had a couple of brand new people join for P3. Brand new. When I mean brand new, like they maybe watched a live stream, they know of Ashes, very unplugged to the Ashes community. And I feel a lot of their feedback when it comes to questions, they knew very quickly not to here, let me just pause the music. They knew very quickly to not ask questions in the Ashes Discord. And I can think of certain people off the top of my head, and I'm not going to mention names, but if you've been in the Ashes Discord, you probably know who some of these individuals are. CEO, what's going on, brother? Happy Friday to everybody in chat. Welcome. Thank you all so much for showing up. On time, before time, chilling, asking questions, having conversations. It's awesome. Love it. Let me see. Crafting is pointless. A small group, even a couple of friends need only a grind and earn gold, get drops and buy gear. Yeah, I think right now we all can agree that the entire loop of crafting is kind of borked. There's some people who actually enjoy it, which, I wouldn't doubt it because there's a lot of masochistic people in the Ashes community. I mean, they exist. I was seeing certain individuals, and I have screenshots, but I didn't edit any of them, so I don't really want to like put their Discord name out there and everything like that. Let me see if I can edit one out, like on the fly. But I mean, and people can always say, right, like, oh, well, this is such an anecdotal example, right? But so this was one that was sent to me, right here. So it says, again, y'all got to chill. I'm a new player. I just shared what I think. It's not my first time playing an alpha, but 4 message requests with harassment is kind of crazy for 1 comment. And a couple of people, like even from my own guild, had very similar responses. Very visceral, very ugly responses. I was going to talk about this Reddit post a little later, but a little preview right there. And so I feel like, with P3 sales, right, we were definitely going to get a brand new crop of players, which we did definitely get. And sadly enough, a couple of people that I've talked to have already stopped with P3. They quit pretty much within, some of them quit the first week, others quit like maybe week 3, and they're basically just waiting for harbingers. And I feel, and when I try to talk to them, I really try to give them a very honest impression, and just anytime we get into a particular big system, whether it's like something brand new like the harbingers, or whether it's like a revamp like our economic system did with the recipes and just how the whole loop works, please don't expect that when this patch drops that you're going to be able to do the thing at all. I mean, how many times, like, I mean, if you're a phase enjoyer, right, and you've done P1, P2, P3, maybe early pre-alpha, maybe you're an alpha 1 backer, how many times has a system been introduced that worked flawlessly the first time? You know what I'm saying? um I think all of us can agree that that doesn't really happen. Cyber dude, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Let me see. They really can't be like, LOL, come to the anvils. It's like a desert in P2. Yeah, anvils is also just work in progress. Correct. The group of people dry humping the game will make it impossible for the new player. Well, that's what I mean. And I mentioned, I forgot it was on Reddit or where I mentioned this from, but I mentioned a degree of gatekeeping that I feel like certain segments of the Ashes community do, that is very disrupting and actually very toxic towards just new people potentially like having eyes on this project. And I feel like if you're coming from like a big organization or a big guild in Ashes, why wouldn't you want to be more welcoming for your game to succeed? You know what I mean? Like the more gatekeepy, the more, you know, asshole-ish you are, the less people will play. And I don't know what kind of prestige you'll have as a big guild when you can say we're world first. Well, yeah, when there's 30 people playing, sure. Way to go, man. Out of the 30 people, your guild was number one. Like, I mean, I'm being very facetious when I say this, but you guys get what I'm saying. I backed Ashes and I loved the idea and vision of Ashes back when I saw the video from Lazy Peon in 2020, because there was just nothing like what Steven was pitching. Especially coming from like a WoW player. Attached to you think what's going on, brother? Gut score, dude. How's it going, brother? It's been a bit. You see, I think this is what contributes to ruining MMOs. It's us as the players. It's all about the tribalism through avatars. Makes sense that developers just started exploiting that egoism via pay to win. Yeah, I think, I've been having a lot of very philosophical conversations with some of my friends and everything about the project, about Ashes of Creation. And, I started, having a little bit of a deep think when it comes to MMOs and when they're released. And I feel like certain MMOs, when they release, they're very much the product of that era, right? Like if you think back of when, Star Wars Galaxies launched, when Vanilla WoW launched, when Guild Wars 1 launched, when Ultima Online launched, like whatever MMO you played or you had a day one experiencing. Rockta, dude, how's it going, brother? It's been a while. Good to have you back, man. Yeah, I was excited about about Ashes until I saw a dev stream where they all used flying mounts. Didn't realize it would be a mare thing only. Yeah. And I think sometimes too, like as a new player, if you're not completely, Cyber dude, thank you so much for the sub, bro. Thank you. Yeah, had to re-up, dude. I definitely appreciate the support, man. Thank you. Fly Mounts Rune, World PvP and WoW BC. Yes. I think WoW experimented a lot through their expansions, which kind of, I think, paved the way for a lot of other MMOs to kind of follow its formula and maybe follow some of the pitfalls they did to like not do those things. But as a community, you know what I mean? As someone that Steven has hailed as the I'm an ambassador. I forgot what he talked about, content creators, you know what I mean? Like I've had many people, I'm not going to say like, hundreds, because I don't think that's very accurate, but I would say tens of people, which, hey, like it's so heartwarming to get like a private message in Discord from a person that's watched my videos or watched my stream and said like, I literally backed this product because of you. That's really cool for me. I've always tried to be a straight shooter and to explain what exactly you're going to get, because I'm not really selling anything, But what I am kind of selling you by you viewing me is my enthusiasm and my candor. You know what I mean? And I think what is the discussion today, Rockta? So we're basically talking about, is the Ashes community welcoming towards new players? You know, or do we gatekeep? Do we shun new players away? Do we shoo them? And I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think there's a huge, I want to say a pretty big segment of the community that is very welcoming towards brand new players. And I think there's this other segment where players very much get lambasted and almost thrown out by when someone asks like a question, right? Like, and again, like, even though we may have been here for many years, some of us, you know, I've been here for over 5 years. Some people have been here the entire 8 years. And we hear questions like, you know, oh, well, has Steven ever thought about PvE servers, right? Or like maybe some like trigger question that a new player might have because they're not familiar with the project. They may have looked into it, you know, all for the 2 minutes. And if you're going to do a 2-minute summary of Ashes of Creation, well, good fucking luck. But that's what new players are going to do. They're not going to know the game as well as you or I, right? So the fact that people get ridiculed and mocked and, you know, it's just someone like being excited to like type in the Discord for the first time and be like, you know, you just had a question on the top of your head just for it to be memed. And I get it, you know, as a gaming community, that's how some of us are. But, you know, when you have the little new leaf thing, you know, in the Ashes Discord, because you know, hey, this is a brand new person to the server and you're going to be like a fucking dipshit to that person. Why? Like literally why? Like that person spent money, right, to come into this test and help us, you know, because we sometimes need breaks, you know what I mean, as testers. So you have new fresh blood coming in, potentially wanting to be enthusiastic to test this project just for us to shit on them, say your question's stupid, and then what, maybe they don't play, or, you know, they're just like, well, that was fucking dumb. And then maybe they just delete the Ashes Discord entirely. And then they're going to have a very frustrating experience testing this game because the guidance they tried to seek was then smacked away. And now they're just, you know, SOL. Like, and that's kind of like why I was very, of the new players that came into our guild, you know, because our guild, I believe, is very helpful. And I think many of the guilds that I've been into the Discords with are super helpful. And that's why I always tell brand new people, please, 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 please join a guild. Even if it's something you're not like, you may not think you're going to be able to like this guild, or maybe you're, you know, on the fence about joining a guild, just join one anyway. You can, it's not like you have to sign a freaking contract for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, join a guild. And the people you talk to in there, I am pretty sure aren't going to meme on you. You know, maybe they'll poke a little bit of fun, right? We're all guys here, right? Most of us. But they're going to answer your questions and they're going to give you knowledge that you never have had before in a way that could enlighten you or make you potentially more excited or potentially more nervous to, to test the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be blunt. The secondary archetypes are the primary thing that got me excited about Ashes. The whole build your own class trope never works. We never learn as an MMO players. Well, the thing is that I feel like the whole build-a-bear of your class, right? You know, with the 64 class system, I think can work, and it could actually be amazing. I just don't know if they're going to go that crazy with it, because I mean, let's just be honest, right? Like, if they were to go as in depth as I want them to do, that's over 9,000 individual spells, abilities, different colors, different ways the abilities would have to perform. That's insane for any, even a AAA multi-billion-dollar company. That's insane. And this is why, like, you know, if you go back and watch me for any length of time when we talk about secondary archetypes or augments or whatever, this has been the one system that I feel has been the biggest flaw in all of Ashes of Creation, because I don't think it needed it. I think you could have literally left Ashes of Creation the same on paper and just had a plain 8 base classes with like 2 specs, or, you know, I know people don't like the WoW comparison, but I'm just saying, like, you could have done something so much simpler and built over time. But with this system, you as the developers are going to have a hell of a time introducing, like, you know, if the game is successful, like, how is a new class going to be introduced? Oh shit, we have an ad. Well, here, let me since the ad's going on, let me go ahead and uh answer some questions or talk about some of the stuff y'all are saying. We already know that we are going crazy with it. Steven has already said some things that will just be flavor. And that's the thing that disappoints me is the whole, I hate the word and the term flavor, but I understand that's why they have to do that, because the system itself is just, it's way too much. You know what I mean? I think over time, I think it could grow into something really awesome, but I think foundationally, we're going to get a very base cookie cutter kind of system, you know, but I hope like over time that it can grow into its own thing, you know what I mean? But I think any dev team, like again, even like the big companies, need some breathing room. If I can get a rogue as a secondary class and do stealth and get the grapple hook, I think. Okay, so again, like if you don't know, every base archetype, those are the abilities you're going to be augmenting. So if you're going to get a rogue secondary, you may like have like as a ranger, I could put a stealth augment on my camouflage and make camouflage more stealthy than what it is. But I can't earn a new ability from a secondary archetype. Like I can't gain grapple. You know what I mean? Because it's working off of my base archetypes. The secondary is only augmenting from the 4 schools of augmentation, which we don't know the rogue currently. But like I think for the mage, it's like lightning, fire. What is it? Frost and teleportation, right? I think those are the 4 schools of augmentation. Same, I tell people it's a group game, and that being in a guild is the best way to play the game. And I think honestly, like the retention is also better too. I think if you try to solo Ashes of Creation, well, good luck doing that. But I think you can still solo Ashes being in a guild and being in Discord, talking to your buddies, having a good time doing that, and learning the game. I think that's what I try to tell a bunch of new players is go into the game and just do things. And as you're doing things, ask questions. Hey, like I'm doing these commissions, like, do the commissions really do anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like why am I doing commissions? It's like, oh, you do commissions for like experience gain. You can do it for, you know, a little bit of glint. You can do it for, depending on what commissions you're doing, you can get little, you know, node tickets or, you know, whatever. Oh Jesus, I haven't had one of these in a long time. 1 second. One trying to put anyway, doesn't matter. Let me see, how many people do you think is playing now? I'm thinking a couple of hundred. Honestly, you're probably right. I would say currently there's probably like maybe over 500 players currently playing Ashes in phase 3. Many big guilds have actually took a break. I think there's some that are still going, right? But you know, I've gotten ridiculed in Discord and in my comment section to say like, Vlad, you don't know what you're talking about. There are so many people playing Ashes right now. It's insane. I go to Winstead and there's, you know, thousands of people in there. And I'm like, it's like, I feel like the illusion and delusion of players is staggering. Like, believe me, no one wants Ashes of Creation to succeed more than me. But the amount of people that try to educate me or tell me like how many people are playing is kind of insane. Mr. New Chapstick, my guess is probably 1K. I think 1K is probably accurate. I'm talking more so to the server, so I probably should have been more clear in my. I thought more clear in my head, but not to you guys. I think probably across both EU and US, I'd say probably over 1,000 players for sure. But there's less people probably playing on EU. I know that for sure. I mean, 1K on Shoal, possibly. I think it's less than that personally. I have nothing to back it up with or whatever, but I would definitely say right now it's very slim pickings when it comes to certain things. A lot of POIs are dead. a lot of you know, just a lot of places that you'll go to, there's no one there. So, and again, this is the importance of us as testers to remind ourselves, like, what are we doing right now? Why are we testing right now? Okay, like, because my whole thing is that I think there's also, and I think this is a very small segment of players that are purposefully burning themselves out because they have an allegiance towards this big organization they're in or their guild. And they think if I dip out or I take a break now, this guild that I'm in is going to think less of me. And I think if you're in an organization like that, you need to rethink what kind of people you're playing with. And if you know the kind of people you're playing with, then you are purposefully doing that to yourself. Like, and by the time the live game comes out, are you even going to be up for doing the things you're doing currently in a literal alpha? Because when the game goes live, that's when it matters. It doesn't really matter what you do now. It could all be wiped in a couple of months. Today, huge thing can happen. There's so many things of your progress is very menial. It's a test. So I think a lot of people forget that. Everything is dead. I feel like it's 1K on NA. I mean, I would say that it's definitely not thousands of people playing. Let's put it that way. I don't think there's thousands of people playing on NA. Let me see people basing what it used to feel like, forgetting that it used to be artificially packed. And to be clear, I don't think it's 1K concurrent. I think 1K total over 24 hours, pretty low. Yeah, I would probably say that's probably correct. I would say within a 24-hour period, there's probably 1,000 players that are playing, but in any given time, it's like anywhere between like 600, 400, 800. It just fluctuates, you know what I mean? Depending on time of day or whatever. Let me see, they destroyed this phase. Only my opinion. Crafting and gathering is 90% of players are doing. They made the amount of mats needed insane for pieces. No drops, no POI, no incentive to do anything. Yeah, I know. This is why when I say that phase 3 currently is in a worse state than phase 2, people look at me like I'm dumb, or like, Vlad, you're an idiot. Like, phase 3 is way better than phase 2 at the start, and I just completely disagree. And so I think, there were things that were causing phase 2 at the start. Some drama, right? Static node rarity was still there, which currently is still here now. But TTK was insane at the start of phase 2. And even with TTK being as crazy as it was, people were still playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, crafting, gathering, POIs were dropping gear. Like, it was an overall better experience when it came to everything else, but PvP was still like a big main contention. I remember that being in the Reddit, in Discord, people were talking about like, fix TTK, TTK is broken, TTK is broken. But I think if you were to look at everything that's currently broken now and TTK fixed, I say that in quotes because I don't think it's fixed, but I think it's way better than it was at the start of phase 2. People are still saying PvP is dead. Why? TTK is fixed. TTK is better. But so why is PvP dead? That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in to find out. Obviously, we don't know yet. But Steven said tank, cleric, bard can go DPS. In defense of Ashes, bard can go DPS quite easily already, and tank. Yeah. I think, like I said, we're going to have to figure out how augments and all that stuff are going to be. But let me see. It should serve as a warning, an example for how PvE players are what sustain a game at its core. Yes, PvP mains craft, but breaking the crafting drives off the PvPers or PvEers dead phase as a result. 100%. This is why I tell PvPers all the time, because, I remember back in like 2023, 2024, people would call Ashes a PvP game. And I'm like, Ashes isn't a PvE game or a PvP game. It's a PvX game. And you need, not want, you need both components. You need strictly PvEers to play Ashes, because those strict PvEers are going to be the ones to do the most of the gathering, to do most of the processing, most of the crafting. Because believe me, right now, PvPers are doing processing and crafting and fucking hate it. They hate it. They would rather go grind gold or glint and go out PvP than to go in town and do all the menial like crafting shit. It's insane. I'm not saying that PvPers don't gravitate normally towards professions, but I know a lot of the PvPers that I talk to don't want to deal with that shit. They want to go into the world and PvP. So this is why I've always hated this gatekeeping mentality of like, if you're not a PvPer, like this game isn't for you. Fuck you. If you're a PvEer, this game should be for you. It absolutely 100% should be for you. So I hate it when people like to, bring all the PvPers like PvP over here and stuff like that. Like, fine. Like, because I do believe that if you are a PvPer, this game is for you too. And I don't like this, this negative aspect of PvE that it doesn't matter, or it's, it may not matter to you, but it definitely matters to the overall ecosystem of this game. And I think without the PvE side, you clearly find out how quick this game dies. And so, let me see, I'll resend this. Do you think it would be in Intrepid's best interest to shut down the server for about 1 or 2 months? Oh my God, yes. I think people would be pissed the fuck off personally, but I think forcing players to take a fucking break would actually be really good. Because I'm telling you right now, I made a video, if you guys haven't seen it, about the patch notes for last Tuesday. And if that's the caliber of patch notes we're going to be getting until Harbingers, just shut the game down. Like literally, just shut it down, because all it's doing at its current state is this continual frustration for players. Like, go in the Discord. Who is literally playing this game right now and having the time of their life? Nothing's bothering them. They're just playing and enjoying the game. I think those players are as much as I can count on my fingers. I'm not going to say that there's none, but I would tell you that it's probably less than 0.1% of players that are testing this game and having the time of their life playing. I think the majority of the people that are playing are forcing themselves to play because they paid $100 or however much they paid, and they're either being pressured by their guild or being pressured by what they spent from their wallet. And I think the game actually felt better in phase 2 because we had to take 2 days off, literally 2 days off. We had the game 5 days a week and just 2 days off. And I think having those 2 days off actually did a lot more good than harm, personally. Let me see, people are so WoW brained, it's hard to adapt to a game that moves like WoW, but isn't WoW in the slightest. Yeah, I think World of Warcraft is definitely a whole different animal compared to Ashes of Creation. Let me see, every time the test/phase has died, it hasn't been because, hold on. It hasn't been because of PvPers have taken a break. No, you're 100% right. Even when the phase is terrible, the PvPers are still there. The PvEers leave every time. I don't sign up to be having the time of my life with no problems to be found. Some of us just don't get triggered by broken things. Having days off gives me free time to get in trouble. Well, I think also too, just like taking a step back, right? I think sometimes when you're too close to something, like, I guess like an example I can give, right, is like one of my friends had this very crazy ass girlfriend, and he couldn't see the crazy because he was too in it. And when I made up like a whole other fictional like couple and explained to him like what this other dude was going through, how clearly he was able to see all the flaws in her and all the bad things that she was doing to him. But I'm like, bro, that's literally you. You know what I mean? I literally described your relationship. And it's like, nah, like you're like the cope in certain people in this community is astronomically high. It is in dangerous levels. And I think, you know, if you're watching my boy Burns, you know what I mean? He says it every video. Be careful with copium. It's highly addictive. Like it's, oh my God, it's crazy. I missed the nostalgia of the theory crafting and everything before we got to play it. Yeah, dude, Surgeon, 100%, dude. I used to go live and we used to literally do that every stream, and it was awesome. I think the idea of Ashes of Creation played better than the actual game for a lot of people. I'm not an addict. I can quit whatever I want. People enjoying the game. New players don't know, who don't know the past. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like it's, and I think honestly, it's good, dude. I've had some really good conversations with brand new people, giving brand new perspective to this game. And here's something too. And I want to ask you guys this question because I feel like this question was very debated amongst my guild. And I think it you know, it would give some perspective for you guys too. When I talked about Lineage or Arcade or any of the older MMOs, and I said they were products of their time, the design for Ashes was in 2017, right? Probably 2016 when Steven like thought of all like the litmus tests and all the systems and everything like that for Ashes of Creation. Now this game was supposed to release in 2020 or before 2020, right? And so we're still 5 years after that. And we're still probably a couple of years after potential launch. Is the design of Ashes of Creation still attractive in today's market? I want to ask you that question. Do you think that Ashes of Creation in its current design will be still attractive towards MMO players in, oh my God, is it literally a freaking ad again? Jesus Christ. Let me see. Another pressure to consider: officers of guilds who must maintain the guild in the dying state of the game. I can tell you that I would rather have my guild go on break. And if a new person says like, hey, well, I wanted to play Ashes of Creation, my guild, if I'm looking at the long-term aspect of Ashes of Creation, that I want my guild to be in the live game of Ashes of Creation, I could give two shits. And if I lose that new player because we're going to take a break, so be it. I'm sorry. Like, that's how I would run the guild, because I am not going to stress out my officers to play a game that they may want to take a break on to sustain the population of the guild. That's insane. It's almost like I can spend 3 hours hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 on my keyboard, spamming the same buttons in a grid group, or in a grind group, or I can play something else and engage more. And I think you should play something else, dude. I've been playing Legion Remix and WoW. Again, people know that I'm a WoW addict. Like, been playing WoW for almost 18 years. I've been having a shit ton of fun. I've been, you know, kind of just taking a break. I played a little bit of Ashes like here and there, but you know, what am I playing? I'm just literally hitting rocks or chopping trees, and you know, like, I don't have the overlay add-on. I don't know what's rare or epic or legendary, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just out doing shit, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not grinding, like I'm just existing in the game. So it's like, why am I forcing myself to do something that I've already done the thing? I already know what's broken. I already know what I don't like. I don't need to keep banging my head against the wall. Like there's so many other games on, right? Battlefield 6 is out today. Like I saw the Steam charts, it was almost like 700,000 players were playing. Go play, other games. You know what I mean? If you're an MMO lover, dude, WoW is in a really good state right now. Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, ESO, hell, Albion. There's a whole bunch of MMOs that you can go and try. I really don't understand the fixation with like I have to stick to Ashes. It's like, no, you don't. Like you literally don't. Like you can take a break for a couple of weeks, go play something else. Yes, but not to the majority of new style MMO players. But yes, I think it still can be successful, but it will never be to the masses. So by the time the game comes out, all the current games will be tired out for the TikTok gen. I do think there is a market for sure. I played Arcade, great community and amazing combat. A game that actually did naval combat correct. It died because Triton ran it into the ground and got greedy. I think there was also like pay to win aspects, right? For sure. I generally enjoy tanking and doing a good hour-long grind. So I didn't say this question like facetiously to be like, haha, like it won't survive. No, I'm genuinely asking the question. Like, I became a content creator for this game. Like, I hope it survives. I hope it thrives. I personally think, and I've said this many times, I think this game is going to do better outside of NA. I think EU is going to, I think we could potentially have like hundreds of thousands of players from the EU alone. Because you think of like Lineage 2, Arcade, the majority in the big markets of players from those games was in Korea, was in Brazil, was in Russia, Germany, even Japan. Like people that played Lineage and NA, like in North America, wasn't that much. Kuo, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Let me see. It's the time sink fallacy. People feel they spend X amount of time in the game and thus they can't just give it up where it feels like they wasted their time. So they have to double down and commit. But I mean, doesn't every game like reset to a certain point? Like even World of Warcraft, if a new patch comes out, there's a whole bunch of new gear you can get with the new patch. Like your old gear is kind of useless to a certain extent. Like if you had fun, did you honestly waste your time? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how I kind of treat games. Like, if you play an ARPG, our progress resets all the time. Does it mean that I wasted my time there? No. Like, I think games inherently are meant to waste your time. But the reason why we love doing it is because we enjoy that time being wasted. If you're not enjoying your time being wasted, that's not a good game you're playing. Like, that's any game. You know what I mean? Like, dude, when I was a little kid, I fucking I used to love to play Trouble with my mom and my dad. You remember that game Trouble? Where it's like a little like grid and you have different colors or whatever. Like that was like my favorite thing to do. I wasted tons of fucking time on that game. I never felt like the time that I played that game was wasted because I enjoyed every second of it. I think people compute, achievements and MOG and all this other stuff. And believe me, like I've been playing WoW for a long ass time. Like that's why I want Ashes to succeed, because I would love to just play another game the same way I used to play WoW. But I don't know if players are ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think certain people are, but I think a lot of when I talk to the people that are claimed to be casuals of MMORPGs and I talk about Ashes, a lot of the casuals, the systems that I talk about, they're not drawn to Ashes. Does that make sense? And then I know a lot of us here in the community, we always like to think that, oh, well, that game Ashes just isn't a game for them. But don't we need casuals? Like, doesn't every MMO need a casual base to an extent? Like even Albion, right? Like Albion's a free to play game. It has a lot of PvP in there. But wouldn't you say, like if I go to Steam charts right now, like I'm curious, like Albion. It's been such a long time since I looked up Albion. How many people are playing this game currently? Oof. Like 7,000 players. So this is literally a free to play game. So it had an all time peak of 27,000. And I know Albion does have its own launcher, correct? So it's not just like a Steam only game. But I fear that if Ashes gets to be too unfriendly or like uncasual, is that going to be bad? You know what I mean? For the overall stake of the game. Our guild is full of casuals. We have a couple of casuals in our guild too. But it's like when I talk to people from other MMOs that are playing like Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, like, and I explain Ashes to them, it just, the PvP is that line for people. But I'm like, but there's like a flagging system and it's like, and then I have to explain this whole flagging system, which basically then just confused them even more. I don't know. I just want Ashes to succeed, man. Like I want Ashes to be in a place that people feel gravitated towards, that people enjoy this game. And I think there's a lot of us who enjoy the shit out of it, right? Like it's just that there's so many little, you know, picadillos, right? There's like issues that if they just weren't here, oh my God. And it's like that people can see the potential of Ashes of Creation, right? Like it's so rough in many areas, but it's like we think to ourselves, like once this thing is fixed, once this thing is evolved, once this other system is introduced, like it's like you just see this kind of like unraveling of a beautiful system, or like hopefully of a beautiful game. It's already unfriendly, let's be real. Yeah. I mean, what makes a casual fall in love with a game? It's because they can casually progress at their pace and feel like what they're doing is impactful. However, we've had this discussion in the past before when it comes to the casual base. Like, and it's always this kind of comparison. If I play for, 1 or 2 hours, can my 1 or 2 hours be impactful compared to the person who's spending 15 plus hours? And people are like, well, no, because the 15 plus hours will always be more impactful. And that's correct, right? But I feel like a lot of people that play Ashes right now, if you play for just 1 or 2 hours, it's not worth it to play. And that's where I disagree. I swear to you, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because I am a dad. I have 3 kids. If this game can't appeal to me, which it does, then what demographic are we trying to capture? Are we literally, the majority of people that are in the Ashes community are 35 plus, right? That's the average. Every male in my guild has a family. If you're trying to capture like an Asmongold 35-year-old, living alone, doesn't have a family or whatever, I don't know how many of those people you're going to get. Damn young punks. I mean, let me see, if I'm being honest, Ashes is already, from an outside perspective, excluding all of the testing problems, seems and looks already very good comparison to others. Well, I guess it just depends on like what you're trying to compare. like if you're comparing Ashes feature wise to other features in other MMOs, or like what you're trying to compare it to. But for me, when I play Ashes, my daughter goes to bed at 7. This is why I changed my stream time from 7 to 7:30, because I want to be able to put her to bed. If she wakes up, 10 minutes later or whatever, I can still go in there, calm her down, come back or whatever. But let me tell you, I play Ashes probably 1, 2, or 3 hours a day. And I find my time whenever I'm playing the game, I have to be very surgical on what I'm choosing to do. But I think I've been playing the game in that type of way actually for a while, since my new daughter has been born. And I find it to be something that if I know what I am doing, I can actually make those 1 or 2 or 3 hours count. I can't be on the game like some of my guildmates are, like 8+ hours. Like there's no way. And the other people that are in my guild that have full-time jobs, right? They work from 8 in the morning till 5 o'clock, get home, maybe at 6, right? Maybe like an hour to head back home. That's the demographic of realistic players that are potentially going to play Ashes of Creation. So I'm not saying that the game has to conform to us and our schedules or whatever, but I think a lot of the grind that Steven says he wants the game to have, I think we need to kind of look at, is that something that we need to have, or is it something that you wanted to have? You know what I'm trying to say? Again, I don't want people to like misconstrue what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to make Ashes easier, but all I'm saying is, like, for myself, I've been able to play the current game 1 or 2 hours a day, and I've actually been pretty good about being very good with my time. There's a lot of people that don't think that you can play Ashes for 1 or 2 hours a day and do anything of significance. Let me see. There was a conversation about this on the forums recently. Let me see. I game similarly. I'm 40 plus with a family. At the time I have to play, I want to be able to enjoy it and feel like I accomplished something. 100%, Zen Marksman. Like, I'm right there with you. Animations, visuals, music feels good, traveling, etc. Once the flesh is there in the game, this will feel very full. No, I completely agree, Cyber. Especially, like I said, once we actually can engage in story arcs, and once we actually have a more robust questing system, because let me tell you, man, that is something that will keep a casual playing Ashes. If I can go into the game, knock out about 20, 30 quests, get a good amount of glint, gather along the way, feel like I got like a good percentage of my XP bar filled, hey, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not looking for this very quick, I need to be max level tomorrow. Like, no. Like, I signed up for Ashes knowing it was going to be a journey, because coming from World of Warcraft, where it's like instant gratification central, I really love like long-term progression, where I can see like the complete evolution of my character. And, I've always hated dads that try to force a company that, hey, I only play 1 or 2 hours, so I want to like get 30 levels in those 1 or 2 hours because I don't want to be left behind. I know for me personally, like, I'm going to try to take time, like a vacation or whatever when Ashes does launch, because I want to play the game as much as I can, early on. I don't know if I'm going to be that person that's going to level, like go to max level as quickly as possible, but I want to enjoy my time. Like, that was my thing. Like, this is more of like a me thing, but I really loved failing in WoW back in 2006, back in like 2005. I didn't know shit. And, I'm a much more seasoned MMO player now, right? But I guess I have like this thing of Ashes where I want to play and I want to go through the game, but I don't want to feel like I'm rushing it. You know what I mean? Am I going to play a lot of it? Absolutely. But I don't want to do the most efficient things. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have a smorgasbord of all the stuff that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I I I think gamers were actually better before internet. I truly do. I think especially like in 2004, 2005, we didn't have YouTube. Like we didn't have like the internet where, Max Roll, Icy Veins, Wowhead, insert whatever website you go to for your game. That didn't exist. So there was no game genie. There was no like little slash I see dead people, if you get what I'm referencing. There was no like cheats. You just had to go through your experience, ask questions, or figure it out. And I think that's what made games so great. And that's why I think that nostalgia for us as MMO players hits so hard. Because whether you were playing WoW like me, or whether you're playing Star Wars Galaxies, Guild Wars 1, Ultima Online, ArcAge, you didn't have the necessary guide right in front of your second monitor. Most people didn't have a second monitor back then. All you had was the game. And that was so amazing to us. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I will say AOC makes the game look dangerous again, and that's what a lot of MMOs miss right now. It's the mount run past all the mobs, getting flying mount over everything. AOC brings back so far the feel of the world, understand the dangers and traveling and learn. Dude, I completely agree with that. Dude, I love when I hear new players dying or see new players die to the goblins at level 3, because you learn real quick. Oh, this isn't a game where I can go AFK like while trying to kill a mob. Dude, no, like the mob will kill you. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. Like, because we haven't had mobs feel dangerous in an MMO for fucking forever. Like, it's so, like, you can literally pull the whole room, like, at level 7 and be just fine. Like, it's wild. Let me see, where's all the new content they are falling way behind the timeline? Yeah, they are. I mean, this is why I think them taking like us offline for 2 months and just literally like, I think that's why closed alphas do so well, because usually like if you're closed alpha testing like an MMO or any kind of a game, they usually like, hey, they bring up the game and they say, hey, here's this system, play this system, do this thing as many times as you can for the week, give us all your feedback on the system, and then we're going to shut down. We're going to shut down for about a month, come back a month later, and you can do the system again along with something else. Or if we need more time with that system, we're going to give you a completely different thing to do. And that's what it is. It's like all these sprints of focus testing a given system or a given loop, right? And because Ashes is almost being treated as a live service game, which I don't understand why. It's not a game. Like, we've heard Steven say this so many times, it's not a game. So yet why are we treating Alpha 2, like the live server, as a live game? Like, it's not. It's a PTR. And I don't want to get people confused. There is an actual PTR and there's like the live Alpha 2, but both of them are for testing purposes. Both of them are. And I think that's why players feel this like cost sink fallacy or whatever, because it's like you feel like it is an actual like game because they treat it like one. And I think that's one of the biggest missteps, in my opinion, of Intrepid is making players feel like this is a game. It's not supposed to feel like a game yet. Not yet. But hindsight's always 2020. I used to say back then that I thought, them treating it like a live service game was a really, really, really good thing. Mobs are so dangerous. I try to evolve half of my level from being dumped to desktop at least once per week. My God, dude. I hope they can fix that Unreal Engine crash issue. That's so, ugh. It's not a game, but we are releasing a content package along with marketing campaign. Yep. Which I'm still very leery and nervous about that as well. I personally feel like there's no reason to have open running service right now. Like I want them to just add everything, and every couple of let us try it. Well, I think for the most part, we're just going to have to, keep finding bugs, keep breaking things, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But I feel like by this time, they should have the data they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of the things that, especially when new patches are introduced, some things, like a good example, when they open up the PTR and we're testing like the newest patch that hasn't been released yet on live, many players are doing abnormal things in the PTR because they assume the mundane everyday things that we normally do work as intended. And, remember the whole processing fiasco, right? Where, we got into this brand new patch in the 0.16 and the benches were all borked into, you can only literally process a single thing. How did we not catch that in PTR? Very simple. Because why would we test it? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's sort of almost like the biggest miss. And I think also too, just because, we're not actual paid testers, like I don't really know what I'm testing or going in for, or whatever. Or let's just say, for an example, that was something that was actually working in the PTR, but something happened along the way that some code got borked. Thus, when it released on live, you can only process one thing. But the fact is that players are so pissed because, of course, like, why wouldn't you be? Especially if you're a processor or a crafter. It's super annoying because you're trying to make things, you're trying to do things to be competitive towards other players, because you're not really doing it for testing purposes, you're doing it for bragging rights. I feel like if I was trying to make something and I came across a bug like that, I would just be like, oh, okay, well, it's borked right now. I guess I'll just try to log out and come back tomorrow to see maybe if it's fixed. But I think players are getting so invested and so, like, literally today, there was something else that happened in the game and players are demanding in Discord reasons, like very in-depth reasons as to why this was fixed or why this was borked or what happened. Now, mind you, I didn't play today. I was playing remakes today. So I don't know what was going on, but I saw some of the people in Discord getting so viscerally upset at the moderators. And after the moderators provided like two, I think, pretty good responses as to like what happened, it's like people were still like going in on them. Like, what do you want? Like, this is what I'm saying. I feel like people are being so terminal. Like they're terminally online ashes. And it's like, bro, the amount of openness that this company tries to give people, like when they make a mistake and they still get lambasted, it's just, it's bonkers to me. It's like, bro, just don't do it. Log out for the night. Go watch a movie with your family. Go take a walk. Like, what the, like, I genuinely don't understand certain people in this community. Like, I don't. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I genuinely think so many people just assume that this is a completed game. Yeah, or something. I don't know. Anyone who is trying to be competitive is not a tester, they're a player. Well, I think, Mr. Noobtastic, a lot of people are players in Ashes of Creation. This is why you see the plethora of feedback and animosity in the Ashes Discord that you do, because people are putting the square peg in the round hole. They're literally ramming their head against the wall, and each time they do so, it's like, where's that freaking Where's that meme of like the guy riding the bike and then he puts the stick inside the spoke and then he falls off and he's like, blizzard. I think that was like the meme back, but it's like intrepid, it's literally that. Like you're literally self-sabotaging at this point, and it's just comical. Like it's fucking comical. Like I don't, this is why I think it's such a good idea to literally just unplug these people. Like if you aren't going to take a break, we're going to just do it for you. You know what I mean? Like I truly believe that. And I think I honestly feel like it'd be the betterment for a lot of people. Cause I think you can actually go and play other games, do other things, and you can actually miss the game a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I think the whole 24/7, as much as I was looking forward to it, it's like, I think about it right now and it's just like, oh God. Because all that's going to do is just further exacerbate the frustration and the anger, which is already pretty high in the community. You know what I'm saying? Well, you see, wait till you see how bad it gets with Steven pushing a marketing run for Ashes. Yep. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me see the continuous same arguments that you have to make, like why fast travel isn't getting in is a bit drastic. I think certain arguments that happen in the Ashes Discord, like I've answered probably certain questions thousands of times over. I don't really get frustrated, but there's certain people that get very frustrated having to repeat themselves. And it's like, bro, get used to it. You don't know if this is like a first time person, or maybe it's like their fifth time being here, but this is the first time of them, coming up with this question in their head of like, oh, is Ashes going to have that? Dude, most of the people that I've talked to new player wise didn't even know about the wiki. They didn't even know there was something like that even created. Like I don't, it's like, dude, all I try to do is like, hey, any new player that I talk to, I answer their question. I say, hey man, if you didn't know, there's like an entire wiki that has everything from the live streams, like questions Steven has asked or answered, complete breakdowns of systems and what they're going to be. Here's the website. And then usually I don't really hear back from them because it's like, if they have a question, they can always just go to the wiki. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to answer their question, just give them the wiki link. That's it. That's all you got to do. Let me see. Is Planet around to ferry these messages along? Oh my God, my boy Planet, man. He's doing the Lord's work, man. He really is. Those people need to take breaks, which is exactly what Steven has repeatedly said. He has literally recommended that certain people take break from Ashes. Yeah, and again, like every time when I tell a person to take a break, it's almost like a punishment. Bro, like no one's forcing you. Like it's okay. You can still like Ashes of Creation and play another game. It's almost like people are treating Ashes of Creation like a wife. Like I can't play WoW. It's cheating on my wife Ashes. Like it's like, bro, like calm yourself down, man. Like I don't know what's this obsession with Ashes. And believe me, like I love me some Ashes. I can talk me some Ashes for hours. I just don't understand the tribalism for this game. At least not yet. Because I mean, I guess I can understand it because, I've been in this community for a while, but it's so wild how chaotically toxic it's been because it didn't used to be this way. I swear. If you were asking me like maybe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, it wasn't this way. I mean, were there toxic people? Of course there were, but they were in such small number that overwhelmingly, if you were a brand new person, you discovered Ashes, like you were like, hey, everybody was like super, like super happy about it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Yeah, I think it might have also something to do with FOMO. I took a couple of weeks notice they added wind and grass movement from it. Pretty cool. Oh my God. So let me show you. There's this video. So I'm a WoW player, right? So there's this WoW video that came out 4 years ago during Shadowlands. Shadowlands was probably the worst in World of Warcraft history when it came to gamers. But there was a video that came out from Captain Grimm. And oh my God, this video is so funny. And I came across it today because for some reason, YouTube, I don't know if you've seen it on your YouTube. Have you been getting recommendations from like videos that were like 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 13 years ago? Like, I don't know what I've been getting these really wacky recommendations from YouTube. I don't know. It's just weird, but some of them have like, oh my God, I remember this video. Like, it's just some of the, like the WoW rap, like that was like 18 years ago. Like, or something like that. It was like a long time ago. And I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, I want to play this video real quick because this video is. Now, just think about this in the terms of ashes. Okay. So this is a WoW video, but just think about it. Think about it. Think about the ashes community and you'll notice when you see it. This is from Captain Grimm. Such a funny video.
Now, pair, let's not be too hasty. We see you've cancelled your subscription, but be sure that we're adding a new 6-month subscription award, and we're listening to some of that feedback you gave us years ago when we initially said we'd listen. They're listening.
Hold on. Damn it, we just got a freaking ad. I'm gonna wait for hold on. I'm gonna wait for the people that don't have subs. Dude, this video, oh my God, the copium, dude. It's so good. It's so good. I love this video so much. But I don't know what's going on with YouTube. YouTube has literally been recommending me the strangest videos lately. I have no idea why. But once people come back, we'll play it back. Sorry, I haven't really eaten. So my wife got me a milkshake. Let me see. Don't remind me of Shadowlands. I can't believe I played 4 classes. Ooh, God, Cyber. Jesus. What's that smoothie, bro? It's a DQ strawberry shake. Super simple. Okay, let's watch it back. People are back. All right, I'm gonna play it from the beginning. I'm gonna higher up the volume, okay? So you might need to adjust it.
Now, pair, let's not be too hasty. We see you've cancelled your subscription, but be sure that we're adding a new 6-month subscription award, and we're listening to some of that feedback you gave us years ago when we initially said we'd listen. They're listening. You're just toxic if you don't come back. Welcome to therapy, friend. Welcome, friend. It was horrible. I couldn't take it anymore. My favorite game has turned to shit. Oh, it's that bad, huh? Okay. We got to stay strong.
Look at them. I don't understand.
What the there was literally an ad. What the fuck happened? Oh my God. Dude, Twitch is so fucking stupid, man. Sorry. I won't play it again for the beginning. I'm gonna like rewind it a little bit. It just pulled an ad out of fucking nowhere. Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, I'll link the he does a bunch of freaking WoW animation videos. But this was literally the time frame when if you remember Asmongold switching to Final Fantasy 14, that was during Shadowlands because Shadowlands was so fucking bad. the entire, almost like I felt like the entire WoW population went to Final Fantasy to try it out. And I think it was really good because, again, there was this tribalistic mentality from WoW players where it's like, you only play WoW. No other MMO exists. You don't play any other MMOs. You don't think about other MMOs. It's just fucking WoW. Okay. All right, we're back. All right. I backed it up. We haven't watched it. So let's keep watching.
I don't understand. This is revolting. Who would ever play this game? It's filled with these vile furries with their damn cat ears and skimpy outfits and whatever these are. That's a hard no from me. These disturbing fetishes are far below. I'll stick to WoW. Thank you very much. Come on, boys. Let's get out of here. It's time for our hourly ERP session.
The Tonar.
Yeah. I don't care right now. Hello?
Look at me. Look at me.
Stop, I didn't do anything.
Don't lie to me, you little twerp. I know you skipped that cutscene. Don't let me ever catch you doing that shit again. If you pay attention, you just might like it. Also, you're still the best wife and don't let me hear you say otherwise. Understood?
You got that? Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Good. Also, be sure to check out the Hildebrand questline. It's pretty silly and I think you'll like it. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Looks like I finally hit the end game.
Transmog.
Well, that's a wipe. Guess this is where we disband. Oh well, see you guys. Oh right, you all suck and uninstall the game and all of that, you know, the usual.
Oh, what do you mean, man? We just go again.
No, idiot. I didn't pull the bag. I was... Wait, what?
Yeah, we don't have to disband. Just try again, right?
I didn't think that this is a thing. I'm just so used to everyone leaving after each wipe. Aren't you just afraid of wasting your time with this failure of a group?
Then we waste our time together.
Wow. You asshole. You come crawling back as soon as we implement, solo island expeditions and 5 new hair colors. Maybe some painting reworks. Yeah. Want some?
Oh my god, dude. I fucking love this video so much. But yeah, if you've never seen this guy, amazing YouTuber, Captain Grimm, fucking makes amazing WoW stuff. But if you're not interested in WoW, if you don't like WoW, thank you for humoring me for a little bit. But, you know, again, I feel like WoW and a lot of MMOs have been very tribalistic, right? And, you know, the whole idea of like playing other games or like branching yourself out from your main game was like heresy, at least back in, you know, before Shadowlands, right? Coming from the WoW community myself. And so I feel like a lot of people, like at least the people that I've talked to from the Ashes community, don't actually have a main game anymore. So when Ashes came out for phase 1, it became almost like an identity for them again. Because, you know, when you were, you know, you weren't an MMO player. It was more niche than that. I was a WoW player. So when you are an MMO player and you don't have an MMO, it feels weird. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people feel like Ashes is kind of like their last lifeline, that they're betting it all on Ashes. And if Ashes doesn't succeed, then that's it. And that's fine. I think that's totally fine. I think for me, I feel like what I'm just going to do is just assess that situation when I get there. I don't know. Like I've been having tons of fun playing Last Epoch, which is an ARPG. I'm playing WoW right now because one one of my buddies actually gifted me 60 days of game time, and I was very appreciative of that. But yeah, like I think it's just a matter of being an adult about what you choose to give your time to. And I think it's just a matter of not being just not being crazy. You know, that's really it. I feel like a lot of people have been going really kind of crazy for Ashes lately. And so I feel like as a content creator, I've just been kind of taking a step back a little bit and try to figure out like where is Ashes headed? You know what I mean? Like, where are we going? Like, what are we looking at after Harbingers? What are we going to be trying to fix with Harbingers? What pre-existing systems are going to break due to this huge patch? I feel like a lot of people have said when we got this new economy, it took 2 steps backwards compared to where we were in phase 2 with the economy and processing and crafting. I think because this is now like an actual foundational 1.0 version of our economy now with like our new recipes and everything like that, it's really just a matter of taking what we like and what we don't like and giving that feedback. And I also, the other thing too is like people that are getting so pissed off for like, when I hear someone say that they don't like a system I like, oh my God, they go ballistic. Like, oh my God, you hate the thing that I like. Your feedback isn't worth leaving. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really a fan of the vendor reagents. I'm not asking them to be removed, but I think they should be optional, at least for novice and apprentice. But it's, you know, when I say I don't like the, you know, vendor reagents, and the other person's like, oh my God, but they're so good for the game. Like, we need these, you know, sinks in the game early on because people make too much gold, which I completely disagree with. But hey, you know what I mean? Like, it's not up to me. You know, I could say all this feedback and it can go nowhere. The devs could hear it and be like, yeah, Vlad, sorry. Like, we do like it and we do think it's necessary for the game. And I'm just gonna have to take it. But it doesn't mean I can't still say that I don't like it, you know? You know, I may check out New World Season 10, but I've put 1K hours into New World kind of over the game too. Yeah, I think a lot of people, but here's the thing though, right? Like, if you put in over 1,000 hours in New World and they're actually doing things in New World that you would like, that are actually good changes, like good fundamental changes to the game, why shouldn't you play it? Like, even just for a little bit. Now, if you don't want to play it because you're just kind of over the game, then hey, that's entirely your prerogative. But hey, like, I mean, New World is not like, it doesn't require a monthly subscription. If you already bought the base game, like, you're good. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I think it'd be definitely worth a try. I mean, I think my whole thing is like, I think Ashes is literally going to be on life support until Harbingers. I think next Tuesday, I think we're probably going to get another very small update into the game. And I think it's going to be like that for a while. I really do. Are you trying to check out WoW Midnight Expansion? Every class is getting heavy class changes. I don't know yet. The reasoning why I wasn't playing WoW is because I mean, I don't really like talking about this stuff, but I mean, I'm just going to say it real quick. Me and my wife are just been having financial issues. So we have a very tight schedule or a tight financial purse on certain things. And we're trying to adhere to that for stuff for, you know, particular span of time. So we're just trying to, you know, making sure that we're not subscribed to anything frivolously or whatever. And all of our money is going to pay off the things we need to pay off. So that's kind of that. But yeah, I would like to check it out. But, you know, right now I'm kind of committed to Ashes because I don't have to pay anything for Ashes. I've already paid my dues for that. And so I want to just, you know, focus on that. And if I can play, or if I can play anything that doesn't require money, then that's what I'm going to do, you know? And so that's, you know, kind of like where my head's at. I was actually playing Ascension, actually. I call it the free WoW because it's like the private server came out with like Classic Plus or Beyond Classic Plus, which was really awesome, man. Like, holy shit. That private server is, I mean, if you like WoW at all, I would definitely try it out because if you were ever thinking of like what Classic Plus should look like, that is what I always thought it should look like personally. So I'm just saying. Crosswinds looks pretty neat. I've never heard of Crosswinds. Yeah, fair. I'm in the same boat, honestly. Yeah. I mean, a lot of my friends are too. Like, you know, a lot of my friends are, you know, a little bit in debt as well. So yeah, it is what it is. I enjoy playing Ascension, especially with the random spell thing. Well, dude, with the Beyond Classic Plus, you're playing a vanilla class, but with the Wrath of the Talent or the Wrath talent trees. And the Wrath talent trees are updated to have brand new spells or passives that weren't in the tree at all. Really cool shit. It's awesome. And then they have this whole kind of like an augment system where you can augment certain passives onto your character. I mean, you can kind of think of them like set bonuses, and you can actually be like a holy priest, and it's a damaging holy priest. Like, you can play holy as a DPS class. Like, it's fucking wild. Like, it's really cool. Like, I don't know how to really, it's just, it's different. Like, and they actually redid some of the old starting zones like Brill and Duratar, to where they added brand new buildings and completely brand new quest lines that weren't in Classic. So not only did they give you the original, but they actually gave you brand new stuff simultaneously. It's crazy. Like, so like I'll share with you. Here, let me go to YouTube real quick, because if you haven't checked out the WoW Ascension, this one right here. I'm not going to play the video, but it's the Bronzebeard official overlook. So this one's the it's called Beyond Classic Plus. So that's the YouTube link if you want to check out the video, but it's like literally 30 minutes long, and it breaks down the entire, like, what it's going to give you. This is all free, mind you. Like, you don't have to pay for this. Like, you could just download the server, and it'll excuse me, and it'll and you can play it. I've actually have like a level 17 mage. But a friend is playing. I mean, I don't know, like, if you've never played WoW, I mean, I would say play the free version of it. You know what I mean? And if you like it, hey, go and you know, play the fake one. You know what I mean? So you might have missed my message earlier. What, if any, direction could Ashes go that would completely deter you? I think, for me, such a big focus of my gameplay currently is economically. So if they make professions have too high of a barrier to entry, I think that could prevent me from playing, like, entirely. I think if they get too I think if it becomes so overwhelming to be a crafter, or to like go through the process of gathering, processing, and crafting, especially earlier on, I think that could be something that could really deter me from Ashes personally. So I hope they don't do that, but I've given my feedback to the devs, and, you know, all I can do is kind of hope and pray at this point. I don't know. I don't want to, I think, honestly, the feedback that I've given has been pretty, I don't think it's like extreme. I think any of the feedback that I've been hearing in the Discord, you know, about processing fees, about how high like, I don't mind buying vendor reagents, but I think the cost of it is just too much. Like, I think if you're trying to be a processor early on, you're broke constantly. Like, you were consistently broke, and that shouldn't exist. You should use your professions as a boon for you to earn gold, not be in the red. You know, it's, and again, it's very off-putting to potential people that could actually like our professions. Let me see. The cost to repair was also kicked up too. And I know it's quite insane. And but why is that? I blame RMT. I blame people buying gold. You know, I blame people that are botting. You know what I mean? Like that's what I blame. Like if you were to get rid of that and all of the artificial gold inflation. Now I'm going to say a hot take here. You may agree with it. You may not agree with it. But I personally think that caravans and what is it? The crate system and caravan system should not earn you gold, period. I don't know why there's an artificial gold sink, or not a gold sink, but an artificial gold faucet for those systems. To me, caravans are going to be very helpful because they will get materials from a biome that's not native to those materials, or if you need them for a node war or a node siege to fortify that node, then you're going to need materials in bulk from potentially other areas. So yes, it's not going to net you a gold, but if you don't do caravans, you're putting your node in serious jeopardy. So I think if I am someone who's going to process, you know, a bunch of, let's say, Weeping Willow, and I'm going to make a caravan and I have a bunch of Weeping Willow that I have on me, and I'm going to take it to the anvils because I'm going to do something over there with them. Like, and me selling Weeping Willows in the marketplace in the anvils, that's what should earn me the gold. Because even though Weeping Willow, let's say in the Riverlands, is selling for, you know, let's say, you know, Stagnant Rarity is gone. Let me just say that. So a rare is selling for like 2 gold a piece, right? But I can sell it in the anvils for maybe 5 gold a piece. You know what I mean? Because again, you need Willow will go all the way to the Riverlands to get it. I transported it here from the Riverlands. So to me, that's how gold should be made. And I feel like the crate system should be netting you things like adventuring experience, profession experience, node bucks, other node related perks and boons and stuff like that. I don't think those two systems should give you gold. Oh, you arbitrarily traveled this long distance? Well, here's 2 gold for your trouble. Like, I just don't think that should exist. Because you're going to have people that are going to be paid, because they're RMTers, to literally only do those things. Only do crates, only do caravans. And it's just not going to be good for the game. Because for as many times as you can do it, the game will reward you for it. I don't like that. Not for those two systems. I think if I did something, a player should reward me, not the game, when it comes to those systems. And now, how do those players that are going to buy that gold, how are they going to earn gold? By going out, grinding at POIs, right? And doing like quests, right? Doing commissions, doing things that Intrepid could actually dial, right? Increase. That's how they should do it. Like I a lot of people don't like when I say this, but I'm very worried for the caravan and crate system when it comes to the gold thing. You already see players currently, like I saw a bunch of people doing the follows. Flanker came out with the video, a very banger video on like his, the state of phase 3 for him. And he talked about people literally going on follow. And there was like a bunch of people that were doing crates, and there's like a freaking assembly line of people just following one single person. So quests need to give more golden glint. I completely agree with you, Cyber. Completely agree with you. Especially, and I gave this feedback in phase 1. Literally phase 1. I said, any quest that is a one-time only quest should grant you a good amount of glint and a good amount of experience. You can't repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you did this quest that it's over now. There's no way you're ever going to be able to do that unless it's going to be on a different character. You should get a good amount of experience and glint for it. And that's also going to cause people to earn gold as they're leveling. And if they want to buy stuff, it's going to allow us processors to make money. It's going to allow us crafters to make money, because now you're actually selling to people who actually have the gold. like right now, people do have a bunch of gold, but you literally have two classes in Ashes right now. You have the have and the have nots. So which class are you? Are you in the haves that have like hundreds of gold at your disposal? Or are you in the have nots that's, still going broke processing? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? Like those are literally like you're not, there's no middle class in Ashes currently. You either have gold or you don't. So let me see. My wife and I love the questing, but the rewards need to be revisited. Yeah, and I've been waiting for them to adjust quests for a while. This is why when Steven was talking about the Fatui system and like, the whole phase 3 thing, I was thinking, oh man, maybe they're finally going to like up, the glint and stuff like that for like the quests that are around like Riverlands and around like maybe anvils or whatever. Nope, still the same. Which again, there's a lot of repeatable quests. There's like a lot of commissions you can do repeatedly. And I think the glint that you get for those is fine because they're repeatable. But the one-time only quests, come on. Those should be rewarding you like 5 rare pieces of glint or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like probably even more. Like some of them are so elaborate and long that, and it rewards you like 20,000 experience. Like, and you think, oh, 20,000 is a lot, but bro, you're level 15. 20,000 experience is fucking nothing. It's not even like moving the needle an iota. And you literally have been doing this one chain quest for a while that netted you fucking nothing. Like if you were to have literally stayed in a grind spot, you would have literally done more for your time than wasting your time doing this quest, because not even the XP is good for you, and nor is the glint good for you. And probably the actual reward is good for you either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so terrible. Like I would love, and I've mentioned this to Steven too, like I would love like an RNG bag of like different materials at like different rarities. You know what I mean? Like for like quest rewards, that way, like I can be like, oh, I got some like rare fish. I'm not a fisherman, but I can give it to my guildie who is a rare fisherman, or I can just sell it in the marketplace. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think some of the quests should give you. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't just be gear. You know what I mean? It should be materials, and it should be like an RNG, like of different, different kind of like the way treasure maps work, but like to a smaller extent. You know what I'm saying? The current loot boxes from Quest are pretty sad. Yeah, they are. I think they're kind of pitiful, but I think that system is good. It just needs to go to version 2. Now, what does version 2 look like? Then caravans would be more rare, too rare. Steven loves his PvP events. Well, here's my thing. I don't mind caravans being rare because, first of all, the amount of money it takes to make a good caravan is a fuck ton. Currently, and that's why people aren't running caravans, because it's better economically to run a crate. But I would rather spend the money to actually transport a shit ton of materials to another node, and then have a chance to have the PvP. But I think currently there isn't as much PvP events. Now, mind you, if we still have lawless PvP areas on top of the Harbingers update, right, where certain zones get corrupted, there's actual like PVX things happening. This is why I say people don't actually realize once every single system is online and operational, how much players of the PvP side are going to be able to take part in. I think logging into a given day, you as a PvPer are going to have to make some hard decisions, because there could be like 4 different things that you would love to do simultaneously that you can't. So you got to pick. So, but again, I don't mind caravans being like rare to do, but it shouldn't reward you gold. I'm sorry. Like, I don't believe they should reward you gold. I think caravans should award gold by you going to another node and then you selling the things from that caravan in that marketplace, and you're earning the gold from other players, not the game. That's how I think they should work. Because again, I don't think Intrepid's going to be able to really limit the faucet so much on that. Give me 1 second, guys. One sec. Sorry, my daughter, not my little one, but like my middle child, she, before we put her to bed, she was not feeling well and she was kind of hot. So I was just going and talk to my wife and see if she's woken up at all and seeing if she's okay. Seems that she's actually doing okay. So, let me see. Once again, we need Steven to make Vladis the lead econ guy. They've been advertising for a year now. Bro, I don't want to be the lead econ guy by any means. However, if my boy Corey, or Cortarian Slurp, he comes in chat every now and then, I would not mind at all being his assistant. Whatever he needs, I will be there to do it, help him. Whatever he needs to make the economy great again, I will always be right there. Like, he needs me to make a Reddit post, he needs me to get different feedback from players, like whatever, I will gladly do it. Let me see. It needs to be better economically to run caravans and crates for players who want to have an easy time with. So I think when it comes to easy, that word easy, I think certain things shouldn't just be easy to do. They need to be intentional. If a system has intention, then you can have that intention on a given day, depending on what you want out of your gameplay. What are you intending to do from a crate, right? Now what I think you mean by easy, right, is like maybe crafting the crate or getting the crate together. That I completely agree. But I think anything, especially when it comes to economy, everything needs to have intent. And I think the intent of caravans and crates awarding gold is literally going to be a net negative for Ashes in the long term. Like, I do. I think with RMT it's going to be a constant cat and mouse game between the RMTers and Intrepid. I think all caravans and crates are going to do is harm the economy, even if the economy is perfectly balanced, right? Like, if the economy was, all the systems were working in tandem with one another, it's like a symphony of beautifulness. That all goes out the window whenever you have artificial gold inflation, because there's now so much more gold in the market being tossed around because people are, getting gold artificially, trading it, buying it. That's going to create a very poor economy after a while. And so that's why I just want to remove certain aspects of systems that artificially award gold repeatedly, right? Like, I want gold, of course, to be rewarding, but on the things that Intrepid can limit. And I just don't want them to actually limit crate runs or limit caravan runs. Like, I think you should run them how many times you want to do them. However, I think the intent of those systems should not be to get gold by targeting to a vendor and then selling your commodities to them. That shouldn't be the intent. There should be different intents with those systems. You see, I like that idea. It makes gold harder for Zergs so they can't flood the market with overpriced things because they made 100 gold on the caravan run. Exactly. And this also kind of breaks into the whole thing too. Remember caravan runs and like having to like, if 15 people helped you with the caravan run, now you have to split that gold amongst 15 people or maybe tip people here and there. So it's like, you know, like I feel like all that's just so messy. You know what I mean? I feel like there's other ways to kind of like get something from the game or whatever. And I feel like this is why I think certain things like, you know, the RNG loot boxes, you know, for gatherables or like maybe node bucks or whatever, depending on like you signing up as an attacker or defender, you know what I mean? And like, I think that's the kind of things we got to be looking at, not gold itself. I thought crates and caravans were for transporting resources throughout the world. How do they create gold artificially? Sorry for my ignorance, but how do they work exactly? So currently, Haribo, and welcome to the chat, by the way. So currently, if I were to run a, an economic crate, right? Depending on my travel distance, right? I can go from, let's say, Halcyon in the Riverlands and go all the way to the most northern node of Anvils with my crate. And I'll get potentially 2 gold and 20 silver if I talk to the economic guy in that node and turn in my crate to him. So the game is awarding me gold, then I can just go there, make a crate from that node and go back to Halcyon and rinse and repeat. And I just keep getting 2 gold, 20 silver each time on loop, as long as I have the materials to make it. So you think of the people that are going to RMT or, you know, and it works the same way with caravans. It's basically the same thing. But of course you might yield way more gold on a caravan run than on a crate, because crates are very limited on your back compared to a caravan that can have potentially a chassis of like 6 or 8 slots, depending on how, yeah, that seems bottable. Thank you. Very bottable. And that's my problem. Now, you said the crates and caravans should be a way to transport goods to or throughout the world. That's entirely the intent of the design, because every biome in Ashes of Creation has its own materials. Like I can get tendonite in Riverlands. That is a anvils only material, or a gatherable. If I want palm trees, you know, I have to go to the tropics. That's the only place that I can get palm trees. I can't chop a palm tree in the Riverlands or in the June Dark. You know what I mean? So some of these nodes, depending on what they're building, may call for other materials not native to that entire biome or zone. So I might need, you know, redwood trees that are from the redwood area. So I would need, like, if I'm going to have a node war, right, between Halcyon and Winstead, and I can fortify, you know, every single one of our buildings by additional 65%. If I get 1,000, you know, redwood trees plus some ore that's in the anvils transported to my node, you bet your ass I'm going to fucking do that, because I don't want my buildings destroyed in Halcyon. If I can get a 65%, you know, more fortification and defenses that other players can't destroy those buildings as easily, I want to try to do that. So that to me is the real intent of the node design, of the caravan design, the crate design. To me, crates are more so for like helping out the nodes within, of course, your biome, right? And that's why I really love the idea of expanding the node vendor, right? Like your citizenship, right? Like bringing in more incentives and boons that me being an aristocrat brings to my node and for me as a player. And so if I go and do, you know, a crate run for my node, I get certain currencies because I am of a certain stature at my node. And that's what I like. I really love the whole kind of reputation that you earn from your node. That I think is super duper cool. But we just need more with it. That's kind of my thing. The problem is that it's just better to just run it to the other biome than in the gatherer's pack or backpack. Absolutely. I think again, some of the things, and this is why I think people talk about how insane the quantities are for crafting. And I think if the quantities were more manageable, it could be gamed a little bit too easily, especially with how big some of our backpacks are already on our back, or our bags in general. But to me, I think that's kind of like I'm not going to say it's an insignificant problem, but let's just be honest. When has level 10 gear or level 20 gear in an MMO been of value to you? Never. Let's just be honest. Never. All level 10 and 20 gear was literally just a stepping stone to get you to end game. That's it. That's 100% it. So why are we trying to, thanks for the explanation, dude. No problem, man. No problem. So why are we trying to make level 10 and 20 gear feel like this monumental task and this monumental way of doing shit? Like, to me, I feel like every bracket when it comes to processing and crafting needs to be fun and engaging as a processor and crafter, not a deterrent. And you do need to be able to make gold from it. And in order to make gold, it needs to be something that you can do, I would say, relatively easy. I think some of the stuff that you do at Apprentice and Journeyman, in my opinion, is not relatively easy by any means. And nor is it relatively easy pocket-wise. So why are we having to literally spend like 100 gold to buy a Journeyman weapon or a Journeyman chest? Like, that's insane. I don't understand why we're treating this particular bracket of level 10 and 20 with such prestige. It's meaningless. You're not going to be that level for so long. So why should it be so much money? It shouldn't. Now, how I would do it is I would like for it to be something where you need to craft like a level 10 piece to feed into a level 20 piece. You know what I'm saying? So that way it keeps the crafters like in this kind of daisy chain effect all the way to end game kind of thing, right? So that way those pieces of gear will always be in demand kind of thing. But I also kind of believe too that I think level 0, level 10 gear should actually be destructible. And what I mean by that is if you die being that level, and I'm not saying once, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying once. I'm saying that it should be something that over time, those pieces would be just unrepairable. So they basically come to 0 stats because they're at 0 durability and there's literally no way for you to repair them. Why? Because it's literally a novice piece of gear. It's an apprentice piece of gear. It's poorly made. Let's put it that way. Because when you're a novice blacksmith or a weaponsmith, the shit you're making ain't quality. You know what I'm saying? So I think that could be another way too, to have potential gear pieces. Because again, if they did make them destructible, and also if it only took you like, let's say 80 silver to buy another novice chest piece, you ain't really going to care. It's going to be like, okay, fuck, I died too many times, right? Like, shit on me. I have to buy a new chest piece and a new pair of legs. But because of how easy it is to craft now, and because of how the ease of access our economy is, it ain't going to break your bank to go and buy another chest piece and another piece of legs. Now, from Journeyman on, those pieces should actually be indestructible. So you should always be able to repair them. They're more permanent. And, you know, it's just something that, again, because you're not going to be levels 1 through 20 forever, those pieces should be a little bit more temporary, is what I'm saying. Because they're temporary already in general. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for them to be forever. And I think also too, if you make a legendary level 10 piece because you want to give that to an alt, but you only have like 6 durability left, well, you gotta not die as much. You know what I mean? And hey, again, in Ashes of Creation, you only lose durability when you die. You don't lose it by fighting monsters over and over and over. You only lose durability when you die. So that's why I think level 0 and level 10 pieces should be something that can actually be deleted over time, because let's just be honest, they delete over time anyway, just because you out level it and there's no reason to have it. And if you didn't die that much either, you can still pass it on to your alt or pass it on to another guildie, because they're not BOE or BOP. So, or you can just sell it on the auction house. Like I still think it's a value to do it, but I also think there's also that sense of danger, that you can actually have pieces of gear that just are unrepairable, at that point. Let me see. W take, they would sell for less too, which is also good. Yes, exactly. You need stuff to be approachable and easy to buy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the other thing too for crafting. I've always told Intrepid that I don't want crafting to be something of me as a tailor crafting 400 backs for me to level from 1 to 10. I think that's stupid. As a tailorer, I should be incentivized to craft every single one of my pieces. Like I don't, because all I'm doing by making 400 backs, because let's say it's the least amount of materials required. Well, why should it be to where I have to make 400 backs? Like, you're only doing that to like waste my time, waste materials to arbitrarily level my thing 10 levels. I would rather have it have more intent, because guess what? I already have to get the certification to go up from 10 to 11, right? To then go up to the next bracket. I could always just be a level 10 tailorer. So like, what does it really matter in the end? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I kind of don't like novice particularly being so grindy. I think it's kind of dumb. I think novice shouldn't be that grindy for a crafter. I think to go from level 1 through 10, I think you should be able to make like maybe 30 to 50 pieces of crafted gear and go to level 10. Because again, I treat crafting very different from gathering. Like, I love the gathering loop personally. But crafting pieces, like some of these pieces, I would say it's a pretty good amount of time that you need to earn certain pieces of gear or whatever, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. But I think crafting in general, like it needs to just be more approachable and more accessible at novice. And I think right now the novice tier, which is literally the first tier, is a little inaccessible to some people, which is dumb. It should be the most approachable. So let me see. Yes, I like the armorsmith making the waist heavy part is the least amount of zinc needed. So you just flood the market with those. It doesn't work well. Exactly. It's and so if I'm a mage and I'm looking at the marketplace and I'm like, well, I want to buy novice gear. Well, I find a bunch of fucking back pieces in the marketplace because everyone's just fucking getting rid of them because all the tailorers are all making back pieces. But if I need a chest piece, a headpiece, a belt, some boots, like all of those pieces are fucking expensive, because guess what? Tailors aren't making those because they're trying to level up their tailoring with this one specific slot. It's dumb. It's so dumb. All tailorers should be incentivized to craft all the pieces. That way, when you look at the marketplace as a mage or as a cleric, you can literally go and find all your pieces of gear that if you want to just buy them all, you can. And guess what? Because all the tailorers are incentivized to make everything, all the tailors now have to be competitive with each other to sell things, which brings the prices down. So it'll be super affordable for a person to buy like a whole set if they wanted to at novice, which they should. I would rather them buy a set from you in your marketplace than them to do it on the fucking vendor. Like, this isn't rocket science. I mean, I'm not even an economy person. Like, and this is, I think, very basic. Yeah, recipe finding is a bitch. Yeah, I think recipe finding for novice shouldn't be that hard. I think it should get progressively harder, right? And don't get me wrong, I think there should be some tier 3 recipes for novice that should be chase items. But I think the vast majority of the tier 1 and tier 2 should be super accessible and should be easily dropped from the world. Like, to me, tier 3 should be the chase thing in every bracket. And those should be hard to obtain to an extent. But I think tier 1 and tier 2 should be literally completely accessible personally. I think tier 1 should actually be provided for from the bench, and then tier 2 should be out in the world. Like, that's kind of like how I treat it. So it's like, you can go, and the bench being made will already give you like a set of tier 2 or tier 1 gear that you can just already go and do. And then all of the recipes you find in the world will offer the tier 2 version of that bracket, and potentially tier 3. I would be fine with the crafting XP if I could sell my wares at the NPC for a small profit. Why is this not a thing? Well, I mean, and again, I think you should be able to sell it on the marketplace for a greater amount. I think the reason why it gives you pennies in the current market, or in the current just vendor into the NPC, probably just because every other value of the economy is fucked. That's probably the real reason why. Let's just be honest. Let me see. Should not be able to gather novice materials of legendary unless you are a grandmaster or something. Malk, no, I disagree. Because again, a person that is a novice miner should have the capability of earning a novice legendary. Does that make sense? Because they're never, like, let's say if they only stay tier 1 of mining, I think depending on, so here's what I say. I think rarity should be predicated off of your artisan tool and your artisan gear, right? Or even your bags. Your bags can have potential artisan stuff for you as well. Like, let's say a lumberjacking bag could actually give you quality on your bag, right? Something like that. I don't know. But depending on how high your quality goes, it then opens up the next bracket for you. So like I gave on the example on Reddit when I made this post, that if I start off with a crude tool, right, when you start off the game, and no artisan gear, I should basically have like common be almost like 70 or 60% what I'm gathering, the other 29 or 39 being uncommon, and like a 1% chance at rare. But I don't even have the capability of heroic on, because I only have a crude tool. Like I'm starting out. I don't, and even if I did find a legendary, I am so new and novice, hence the term, that I would fuck it up. So that legendary would then just become a rare, or that heroic would just end up being a common, because I don't have I have a crude tool. I have a very rustic weapon, right? But once I start getting those uncommons, and then now I make an uncommon tool, and now I have an uncommon shirt. Oh, well, now I actually have capability of finding heroics at this point, right? And then that's how it keeps going, right? So there's like a progression that you do that, again, if you stay just in the novice tier, because you're never going to go above it, you have an actual progression loop within that bracket. So if you keep churning, right, and now you make a rare tool, now you have the next bracket. Now you have a rare tool and a rare shirt and a rare pants. Now you can, again, because now you're hitting these certain rarity breakpoints, you're now earning the potentiality of the higher rarities. And this also would free up bag space too, because now you're not going to be getting 6 different rarities right off rip. You're only mainly going to be getting common and uncommon, which actually makes legendaries fucking great again, because you're never going to fucking see them. And that's how it should be. Legendary should be something of myth, in my opinion. Like, it shouldn't be something that you see raining from the fucking sky. Like, I hate the fact that I go to, on trade, and it's all you see people fucking trading legendaries or epics. Like, those are the 2 fucking rarities that I see primarily from people. It's just rares and epics and legendaries. And I think once we actually get static node rarity removed, and Haribo, is that how you say it? I don't know. But thank you so much for the follow, bro. Thank you. That's why I think once we have static node rarity removed, I think players are going to get very discouraged very quickly because they're going to see, oh wow, like I'm not getting that dopamine of hitting an epic or getting a legendary or whatever. Like you're just going to be getting commons and uncommons, which again should actually be that's the right move, because you should be able to get into a natural progression of earning the higher rarities. That way, when you see someone with a heroic, you're going to freak out like, fuck, he got a heroic? Wow, that's nuts. You know what I mean? Because you're going to see the majority of players decked out in uncommons and maybe some rares. You know what I mean? For the most part. But I feel like heroic is probably going to end up being what legendary is now. That's kind of like what my hope is, right? Like, because I think depending on like how long we are in the phase, like if we're 2 or 3 months in, then you should start seeing some epics get made, right? You see more people decked out in more heroic gear, right? Like, because again, there's like a natural progression over time that occurs, right? And then you may hear of someone getting legendary. Like, that's to me how it should work. So we just need time to get there. You know what I mean? Is what I'm saying. Let me see. Yeah, I miss the days of seeing a dude in WoW in like heroic gear set. It was just like, oh fuck, this guy's really good. Yeah, man. I used to love back in the day, man, when I used to be an orc and I'd be like, oh my god, he has the tier helm and the tier shoulders. Fuck. You know, now it's like so common to fucking like epics in WoW is common. There's nothing epic about it. It's just a color in WoW. But because anything you do in WoW currently is epic. That's the rarity WoW lives in. So I kind of want Ashes to kind of go back to this thing where when you see a person, like, I don't know if there could be any kind of an identifier on there or anything like that. Probably not. Just kind of the nature of PVX and Ashes. You probably don't want people inspecting your gear. But I think, you know, if you wanted to share like a screenshot of like, I crafted, you know, a heroic weapon, I think you're going to get more people to be like, holy shit, in that moment compared to you just making a legendary now. Because getting a legendary now in Ashes is actually pretty common. Like, seriously. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not going to say it's pretty common, but I would say like you would see it way often in Ashes currently, just because of static node rarity. I see people screenshotting me their willows because they already have all of like the Western Larch legendary nodes, like which ones those ones are static in. And it's wild. I hate it. I hate it so much. But guys, I've already been chatting for over 2 hours. I really want to thank you guys for coming out, hanging out with me. I appreciate every single one of the new followers that subscribed today, that followed my channel. Again, for you guys that know me, my name is Vladis. I stream every Friday at 7:30 Central. Are you kidding me? Another ad right when I'm fucking going to sleep? Jesus Christ. Twitch. I don't know what to do with you anymore. But just for y'all there that are seeing me currently, if you have YouTube Premium, watch me on YouTube. You can watch me ad free if you already have YouTube Premium. But I really want to appreciate everyone's time for coming out and hanging out with me, talking Ashes. It's always a blast. I really enjoyed all y'all's responses. Cyber, was good to see you again. Rockta, good to see you too, brother. All the new people. Wait, what's getting removed? Static node rarity, bro. Static node rarity is getting removed. It's Chili. Good to see you too. And again, guys, thank you all so much for just hanging out with me. It was a pleasure. And I will see you guys next Friday. And also stay tuned. This coming week, I'm going to have another video out for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But again, hit that heart button to follow me on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button to follow me on YouTube. And I'll see you guys on the next one.